I spoke to Martin Plaut. He's a visiting senior fellow in the Department of War. Now, dozens of people have reportedly been killed after an airstrike hit a busy market in Ethiopia's northern Tigray region. Health workers in the village of Togogo have told the Associated Press soldiers blocked medical teams from reaching the scene. This attack also happened during some of the most intense fighting since that conflict began in November. Earlier, I spoke to Martin Plaut. He's a visiting senior fellow in the Department of War Studies at King's College London. And he says the evidence suggests the Ethiopian Air Force is responsible.
There's frankly nobody else who could have done it. The Eritrean Air Force is not operating in the area. The Tigrayans have no Air Force. Who else could have done it? It must have been an Ethiopian jet. I don't think that will come as any surprise to anyone. Basically, the Tigrayans have been on the defensive ever since the war began in November. They were first driven out of western Tigray. Then they were driven out of their capital, Mekelle. And now they have begun to take back some of the area that they lost. They are fighting against both Ethiopian and Eritrean forces. Eritrean forces, you may recall, have been coming in from the north. The Ethiopians asked them to leave, but they have so far not done so. And a string of towns have now been briefly retaken by the Tigrayans in a very major offensive. They say they have captured up to 10,000 Ethiopian troops. Now, of course, that's not verified, but that's the kind of claim that they are making, that they are now on the offensive. They've got they say, the Ethiopians on the run in some areas, but this is not a war that's going to be over in 5 minutes. The last war in this area lasted 17 years. This one's been going on 7 or 8 months.
Well, let's now speak to Hiba Morgan. She joins us from Gadaref in Sudan, near the border with Ethiopia. Hiba, the UN has already declared famine conditions in parts of Tigray, and I know you've spoken to people who've been forced to flee there. What are you hearing from them about what the situation on the ground is like?
Well, first of all, let's look at the location where this airstrike happened. It happened in northwest of Mekelle. That's a place where people will not be able to escape from to come here to refugee camps in Sudan's Gadaref and Kassala states should they want to. That's because of the location and because of the fact that Ethiopian troops are blocking the borders. So the number of refugees who are able to cross here to seek safety as well as humanitarian assistance is getting lesser and lesser as time goes by. And there are a lot of people who are displaced already by the conflict in Tigray. More than 2 million people have already been displaced, and the UN is warning that more than 350,000 are facing famine. So it is expected that the airstrike that happened today, as well as further airstrikes which are expected by the Tigrayan rebel forces, who say that they're expecting further attacks, and that they're also trying to launch their own offensive to take some of the areas back. That's expected to result in more displacement and more people in need of aid. People in the area are reporting that access to health care and to medical assistance from the airstrike is being blocked. That is a report that refugees here say that is actually true, because they say that they can believe that, because they say that they've seen Eritrean forces and Ethiopian forces blocking aid. So it looks like the situation in Tigray is going to get worse and worse as the days go by.
Hiba Morgan there on the ground for us at Gadaref in Sudan, near the Ethiopian border. Thank you so much, Hiba.